kind of all gone wrong. So I'm going to keep this as short and sweet as I can, and concise, because I am a massive oversharer and I love the ins and outs of context, but right now nobody's got time for that. So I've come along to have a chat with you guys and have a bit of a catch up, because there's been such a lot happening and a lot of change. So there's a few things that I want to go through with you today, and I'll keep it to the point. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'll try and answer them in the comments, or maybe do a second video. But right now, let's just give you the headlines. So I'm going to run through one, where is Donut? Because that has been massively asked. And then two, about some changes going on in my life, which I've been having to come to terms with and everything. And I've actually gone and had a therapy session about it this morning, because it's really weird for me. So, nothing bad, but I don't know, it just feels like a big thing, and I really needed to get it sort of outlined in my head. So I've had loads of questions, where's Donut? And I know I feel like I constantly do a he's back post, and this year it's felt like that quite a few times, where I've been like, right, brilliant, he's back, we're on it, and it's just been a bit stop-starty. So basically, to cut to the chase with you guys, Donnie's just been struggling a little bit with his soundness this year. And now, look, I got this horse for £1. He does not owe me a thing. But you guys know that I will always put my horse's welfare above and beyond anything else. And while he wasn't lame, you really couldn't shout and say he was lame. I just knew that he's not quite comfortable in his body, and there's something niggling away. So I've been spending the majority of the year trying to work with my whole team, not just the vets. I mean, the vets are my first port of call, but we've got physio, farrier, dentist, the works. I don't see the horses as one single thing fixes them. I think it's a whole management group that actually does the job. And I've been working with them, and we've been chipping away at it, because it's been so minor. Actually, sometimes it's easier with something major, because it's like a big blaring red flag, to be like, it's that, whereas it's been so minor. So we've been working together, and not only have we worked with my vet that comes to me here, he's also been for a trip down to Newmarket and a stay there, while we just really try and iron it out. And fingers crossed, I think we are to the bottom of it, which is great news, because personally, I never think any horse or human is absolutely perfectly bang on. Not if you're doing a job. No athlete is out competing at top level, doing whatever sport you may think of, without an odd niggle here or there. But the thing is, for our horses, we have to advocate for them, because they can't talk. So we are making choices on their behalf. So for me, it's really important to know that they are in a state of comfort to be able to do what they want to do. And as we know, Donut loves his job, and he has been miserable as sin not being able to go out competing. But I've had to sort of put my mummy hat on as such, and say, no, you're not going out until we know where we're at. And not only that, the ground's actually been really firm, which the events have been brilliant. They've been sorting out the ground at the events I've seen has been really well prepared, but you can't just take that into account. There's all the preparation around it. So I've just sort of wrapped him up in cotton wool, and I think that we are building up now, so that is great. It's been hard to sort of say yay or nay where we're going with this, because as with horses, it's never all that clear cut. So that's why I've sort of stayed a little bit quiet on it. But obviously, he's done one event this season, which he did really well, to say that he had very, very limited prep. And that's not really been what I wanted to do this season. I wanted to be really prepped when we go, whereas I nipped him round Osby just because he needed a bit of a run and a bit of a sweetener rather than just training at home. But I want to get him out to show jumping and all those sort of training shows where we really sort of elevate our standard so that when we get to the events, we're able to be super duper competitive. So with that, I'm not rushing out to an event fast. I'm busy conditioning him. He's actually stayed really fit throughout because, as I say, he's not been lame. I've just been a bit like, no, I'm not happy pushing him any further than this. So his base fitness is fantastic. And now that he's looking so much better, I'm much happier to up his workload and up his intensity of work. So his muscles are all going to build up and come back and get so much better. So yeah, where's Donut? He currently is not even in the stable at the moment. He's usually in the stable when I do this, but he's out in the field having a nice time. He's been in daily ridden work probably for most of the year. So like I say, he is being worked. It's just not that interesting to share because I've been mostly hacking him, keeping that base fitness up, and he's a really happy boy. So that leads us on nicely to what I was going to chat to you about with the rest of it. So what's going on with life? Because obviously my channel is ELS Eventing, and that is a huge part of my identity. But the eagle-eyed of you guys will have noticed I've not done an awful lot of eventing this year. And I found that really hard actually, because like I say, it is a huge part of my identity. It's a huge part of who I am. It's what I love to do. Obviously I started off the season with Maggie, kept it steady with all her prep for badminton. And then we came to the conclusion that she needed to retire from eventing and move down the new route with new sport. Teddy Bear is doing well, and he is progressing towards his sort of eventing career, hopefully, fingers crossed. But again, it takes time because he's a youngster. And then, as I've already mentioned with Donny, we've sort of been on and off and just waiting until actually I'm 100% happy that he's ready to go. So if I refer back to my goals at the start of this season, it's kind of all gone wrong. And it's just not happened. And such is life and such is horses. But when you put in so much time, energy, financial backing that takes a lot to earn into it, it can be pretty gutting to come to terms with the fact that actually, despite trying your hardest towards it, it's not come to realization. But equally, it's not the end of the world either. So if I go and review my goals, my plan was a good run with Maggie, get her going at novice, and my ultimate plan with her, I might as well voice it now, I knew that she was never going to be a horse that went up and up the grades, but I did think that she would sit quite comfortably at 2-star level and maybe become a bit of a 2-star specialist, and I was quite excited to do that with her, but it wasn't to be. It's not her thing. We're going down the route with show jumping now, and I have just given myself a little bit of breathing space just to sort of grieve those dreams of the eventing, because actually we're like 7 years in now of those dreams with Maggie, and it just needs a little bit of time to marinate, I'll say, in my mind, and let that sort of come through. Ted obviously was all about this year, about him learning to event. I'd hoped that maybe I'd do some of the young horse classes with him, but he's just been a little bit green, a little bit gangly, and I've not been willing to rush him and push him through it. I just wanted to take it at his own pace. So that's setting him up for the future, which is brilliant. But equally, I'd really hope to get to Cornbury International. That has the 5-year-old, well, all the young horse championships for the UK at it, and it also has the Thoroughbred racehorse to event challenge at it, which I wanted to take Donut to as well. And Donut's eligible because he's got the Weatherby's passport, but what they have put in the rules is that you have to have 2 mares, 2 minimum eligibility requirements at novice level. Now we've got 4 mares at novice level, but they're all from last year, and they want them to be this season. So in order to get there, I need to run at 2 novices and get those minimum eligibility requirements, which, you know, it's even quite possible now, but the likelihood becomes slimmer and slimmer because where ballot date is for entries and trying to get stabling to be able to go there and the likes. So I did have quite a internal turmoil because the competitive version of me, competitive easy, really wants to go. Obviously, I love competing. And I am a competitive person. And I sort of have these two sides of me. I have the competitive me, and then I have Evie the horsewoman, Evie who puts her horse's welfare above each other. And they're two very strong personalities within myself. But I've not got a split personality, but you know, there's two very important parts of me that are there. The athlete who wants to be competitive, and also the horse person who puts her horse in before anything else. And if I was to put those in a level, I would say the horse person's here, the athlete's here. So they are nearly level in scale, but the horse person takes hierarchy. So I made decision because there was the option to enter a couple of events for basically Aston, which is in about 10 days from now, and Frickley, which is the week after that, and then I could potentially get my mares and go. But then I was just a bit like, will he be ready in time? And am I pushing him? And am I pushing him for my own gain to be able to take him there? And is that really the best choice for him? So, of course, horsewoman Evie won, and I haven't entered, so we're not going. And whether we get to Cornbury or not, I don't know. We'll just see. I'd be entering after entries close and putting a late entry fee, and it just depends if the stars align or not. But ultimately, Donut is my top priority, and he is eligible to enter the 2-star, which is at Cornbury, because we've got all our mares for that. But financially, I've made the decision I'm not doing that. And realistically, if I went there, I want him to do the Thoroughbred to, or racehorse to Eventers Challenge, because why wouldn't you? One, it's got a £45,000 prize fund, and two, he gets to compete in his own class of horses, his own breed as well, and he gets to show off, because it's going to be that spectacle of look at how amazing these thoroughbreds can be, and encourage people to buy and produce thoroughbreds for eventing to show just how amazing they are. So I would love to contribute to that rather than sort of just be part and parcel of the 2-star, given that it's his peers as such. So that's where my goals were, and that's where they've sort of fallen a bit flat on their face. And with horses, we change our goals, we reroute, we do all of that. But what I've also found actually is I've now hit the stage in my life. I'm 28 years old, and I am looking towards my future. And for me, for pretty much definitely the entirety of my adult life, and since I was a teenager, I would say, my goals have always been to my top priority, absolute top priority, has always been the eventing and the horses. Like, there's been nothing that has ever topped it, even through my GCSEs, my college years, everything. I've continued riding, I've continued competing, getting a job. I've never ever taken a step back from the horses and gone, I'm going to focus on this now, because the horses have always been my top priority, and they still are, but there's something else that's sort of eking in that is also a bit of a priority, and it's quite important to recognise. And I've always said, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, and I think I've reached that bridge, really. So throughout this time, I've been growing businesses and doing all of that, and it's all been in order to fund the horses, in order to keep competing. And I'm now at the stage where I've got my own yard that I rent, my own flat that I rent, and I'm really proud of where I've got to. But I do want to be setting up my future even more beyond that. So I woke up one day a couple of months ago and thought, I need to buy a place. Simple as. Now, I am nowhere near that position yet. However, it's not simple to buy a place. I don't have I have the most amazing support from my mother. She's incredible and I am so grateful to her, but I do not have financial backing as such. You know, I don't have anything to fall back on in that respect. So whatever I do it off my own back. And so I've set some very, very aggressive financial goals for myself, and I'm working very hard towards them, as you'd know if you know me. And you may or may not know, if you've watched my recent vlog, I'm very proud to have recently set up my mindset business, which is working alongside my marketing business as well. And I am so loving working in that and helping people and helping people the way that I had help 7 years ago, and this morning even. It's something that I've continued on with, and it's helped me not only in my performance but also just in my general life, just to be able to progress and move any blocks on and move forwards from it. And I'm so proud of that. But for the first time in my life, I'm actually taking this year that has fallen a little bit flat on its face in terms of competing, where my identity sits very strongly, and I'm actually taking it as a good sign to take it as a consolidation year. And it's interesting, actually, the year I set up this YouTube channel, it was a bit of a consolidation year, and both Titan and Maggie, both my event horses, had come down with bad illnesses. They were out for the season. I actually got Donut, and I still evented because once I got him going, and I started preparing him for this amazing season that we had next season. I feel like we're in a bit of a similar position again. I'm starting from scratch with Maggie on learning how to compete and where she wants to go and what's the best route for her. I'm building Donut back up because I feel like if I just start now and go pedal to the metal, we're already past halfway through the event season. And I've not done the training and the prep that I wanted to do. So I'll be going through the motions. I'll be entering event after event with much less progress. So I will still take him eventing when he is ready, but it will be very much as a sort of training and consolidation year this year, and very much the same for Teddy. This is a training and consolidation year. This then gives me time, not only time, but also a bit of financial backing to get my business off the ground, to do all of the work that it takes to do all of that, and actually gives me the opportunity to do that and breathe, because I'm the kind of person that just keeps on going and going and going. So I feel like that's it. That's everything. I don't want to bore you with all the ins and outs of it, but basically, maybe expect some different content on here. There will still be some event vlogs, but if you guys are interested in maybe the route that I'm taking to get myself in a financial position to be able to buy a property, because obviously I don't know what I'm going to manage to do, but the dream would be to buy somewhere where I can take my horses straight away. Who knows how realistic that is. I've got some other goals first that I've got to hit before I can even start looking at that. But also the route of starting up a business, because my marketing business I actually started up in 2020 with Mum, knowing that I could step into it at the point I was ready, which I did do, but it was already sort of a business there with a structure, whereas I have started Cadence from scratch, and it is 100% me. It's like a passion project of mine. So business content, house content, and then just the consolidation of horse life, because it still carries on. Like all of this now is starting to prepare for goals for next year and starting to look at the bigger picture. I'm not just looking at this season, I'm looking for seasons in 10 years' time, when I've hopefully got a place and a base that's my own, so that I can prepare for these events better, because I'm in a situation where I can control my surroundings and do all of that. So it is actually incredibly exciting. It's just come not when I've expected it. So it's definitely been a bit of a wake-up call, and something that I'm now come to terms with and I'm quite excited about. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you very soon, and wish me luck. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.